Yo, what is going on, Knicks Nation? It's your boy, come to you guys with a brand new video. So recently, there has come out news. Well, Mitchell Robinson himself came out last night after the blowout loss to the Utah Jazz, and he had a tweet, but he deleted it right away. The tweet said, "One day they'll let me play." And now this is causing a lot of controversy, a lot of debate, a lot of questions in the Knicks Twitter, in the Knicks Nation, about what is going on with Mitchell Robinson and the New York Knicks. So if you guys didn't know, in the offseason, there were some troubles with Mitchell Robinson and the coaching staff. You know, he had some personal issues going on in the offseason where he couldn't come into the practice facility, so they sent a coach out to him and help him train. And then, you know, a couple of days ago, he said, "I'm gonna let the jump shot fly," and he still hasn't. And then he said, "You know, I can't shoot. I'm just waiting for my opportunity to come out and show you that I can shoot." So what is exactly going on? His tweet says, "One day they'll let me play." Some people are speculating that, you know, it's due to foul trouble, it's due to the refs not liking him and not giving him the calls, and him not getting enough playing time. If you look at each of those things and break it down, Mitchell Robinson hasn't fouled out a game. He's had only like 3 games with 5 fouls, 0 with 6. He's had a game with 0 fouls. So he's not getting in foul trouble, which is an amazing improvement just in itself. Because last season, he would sit out a lot of games because he would get in foul trouble or he would just simply foul out. But this season, Coach Tibbs and the coaching staff has come out and, you know, helped him get better. You know, he stays on his feet more. He's not jumping for every block. That's why his blocks are a little less, but his steals are higher this season. You know, he's doing everything that you would want out of a defensive player on the defensive side. You know what I mean? Like a Rudy Gobert. He does everything Rudy Gobert does, probably just not as efficient or as strong, because, you know, Rudy Gobert is definitely a bigger guy than Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is what, like 240, I think, and Rudy Gobert is what, like 260, 270, I believe, 250, somewhere around that. You know, he's a big guy. So now, let's talk about this one day that let me play. Like I mentioned just a couple of seconds ago, you know, he wants to use his jump shot. They're not using him as an offensive player. Mitchell Robinson gets most of his points from putback dunks, putback layups, and alley-oops. So now, if you take away those 3 things, Mitchell Robinson doesn't really score the ball at all. They don't really create any offense for him. They don't run the offense to him at all. And I kind of do see why he is getting mad, because ever since he's got in the league, he's been the same player. Like, there's a minimum improvement in what Mitchell Robinson has done throughout each year. And now that may be his fault and that may be coaching's fault, because in the first 2 seasons, he didn't really have a coach. Nobody disciplined him. He did what he wanted. Now we got a coach in Coach Thibodeau. And, you know, maybe they're not on the same path. Maybe Coach Tibbs wants something different for Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson, you know, wants to show his abilities. Because in the offseason, Mitchell Robinson was working on his jump shot, working on his dribble moves, and he was posting it all over Twitter. He said he wanted to come out and show that he had something in his bag on the offensive side, and I actually want to see it. I understand why Mitchell Robinson is actually mad, and he probably made this tweet, because they're not running anything for him back. He's just a garbage man. He comes and he cleans the boards, gets dunks. That's his job. They don't run pick and rolls for him. They don't, you know, let him work in the post, even though he doesn't have a post game, but at least, you know, let him work on it. You know, give him the ball, let him do something. This is a developmental year. You know, we say that every year, it's a development year, it's a development year. And this year, as much as we're gonna be a good team, or we're gonna be like an average team, we might be in the playing tournament, this is developing year, because we still don't have our point guard. Since we don't have our point guard, it's always going to be a development year, as much as you want to say it, because we're not gonna have that offensive initiator. It's always a developmental year for all our players. Mitchell Robinson is in his 3rd, 4th season now, and next year is going to be a contract year, or this year, you know, he can get a contract extension. So Mitchell Robinson wants to show out, you know, he can get his bag, and I definitely understand it. But let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you want him to work on his game. What do you feel about his tweet? Is this professional? Is it unprofessional? Let me know in the comment section below.